Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. So welcome to Unintentional Grounding your boys. My name is Lieutenant Dan here, Orlando, Florida, here at Unintentional Grounding live here on YouTube. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Listen, y'all. Okay, so a couple things. Number one, the Falcons lost. And it wasn't like a good loss. It was like one of those, oh man, the refs really screwed us lost, and like all the rest of the NFL agrees with us, and now like I'm like, then we just got the news just a few minutes ago that Deion Jones has been traded to the Cleveland Browns for late round draft compensation. Meaning that the Atlanta Falcons were ready to move on from Deion Jones. They liked what they saw from Troy Anderson. They liked what they saw from Walker. They liked what they saw from Evans. And that's what they're going to roll with right now. If that becomes an issue for any Falcons fans here, I'm so sorry. This is getting wild, man. It's getting wild. Couple things that I just want to talk about with the game real quick, and then we'll kind of just go on into some discussion with the chat. And I hope all of y'all in the chat are doing absolutely fantastic. Listen, can we just talk a couple of minutes here about Marcus Mariota and rolling with Marcus Mariota, having confidence in Marcus Mariota, even though he almost turned the ball over, I think, twice today. I want to give the benefit of the doubt to any single individual player, no matter what goes on in that player's ability to, do whatever. But Marcus Mariota, I think is just, he's never going to be that kind of passer in this league. It doesn't help that our wide receivers and whatnot were like dropping the ball everywhere, this way, that way, the other. But you got to be more accurate with the ball. We need a better playmaker there at QB. We have the guy, and obviously they think he's not ready yet. And I this is 3-4 weeks, 5 weeks into the season, and I think every single one of y'all believes the same way that I believe, which is like, hey, this is not it. This is not it. We need to go ahead and get the next guy in here. It's hard to say that with the San Francisco 49ers coming up at home, and then I believe it's the Panthers afterwards. I want Ritter to get the most development that he can possibly get, and then allow him to flourish and grow. I want Arthur to pull him when he wants to pull him. I believe in Coach Smith. I think that Arthur Smith knows exactly what he's doing because he shows it when he wants to run the ball. He runs the ball. When he goes out there and he wants to pass, they try to pass all over. It's just not going to work. It's just not going to work with Marcus Mariota. I'm sorry. Overthrowing dudes, underthrowing dudes, throwing behind dudes, throwing way too far in front of dudes. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. So I'm hoping that Ritter, in the next 2 weeks, gets the opportunity that he's looking for. Let's go into the chat and let's go say hi to everybody who is in the current chat right now. Mikey, Mario, what's going on, my man? Chris Edwards, Rose Stackson in the building. One Pride Bandito in the building. Brian Smith, good to see you, buddy. Mick Marty on fire. Good to see you, bro. Good to see him. Falcons fan 408. Good to see you, my man. Rise up, stay ground. I hope you guys are doing well. If you haven't already said hi in the chat, please come on over and say hi. I would love to see you guys. Man. So, TJC, what's going on, my man? Good to see you. So the loss doesn't hurt. The loss doesn't hurt, but it definitely disturbs me because we had a game-winning potential field goal against the Saints, and we weren't able to get that done. We had an opportunity to beat the Rams in our own hands, and we couldn't get it done. We had an opportunity to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here. Good thing I didn't update the graphic. We had an opportunity to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here, and you know, yeah, it just kind of slips away. So there's a few things that are going through my mind right now. The defense can't be bend or break all game just because they're scared of getting burnt. Okay, they can't be scared of getting burnt. If it continues this way, it continues to get really bad this way. Again, like I said on my last show, if it's only Mariota that's the problem, then Mariota out, Desmond Ridder in. But if it's not Mariota, and Mariota can still make it work, and everything else works well with Mariota in there, I don't think that Arthur Smith ever takes out Marcus Mariota, just because he's like, this is good enough for me at this level. This is good enough for me at this level. I don't think I have to worry any further about what we're going to try to do. Yeah, okay. So I don't know if Marcus Mariota is going to come out, but what I've seen in a positive light is Troy Anderson looks like he can hit and he can thump. He can kind of cover, which is fantastic. I like what our offensive line has done. It has done miracles for our run game, and even against the Bucs' stoutness, we were able to run when we needed to. There's a lot in this group that needs a little push, just a little more talent in that area. Just a level up of talent in certain areas. But I think we're close. We're very, very close to what we're looking to try to accomplish here. As far as Deion Jones being traded, and I haven't been told what the compensation is. I just know that it's a late round pick. So if a late round pick is a pick 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe they got a 5th. And if they got a 5th, that would be fantastic, because then we can put a couple of things in. But let me just, if there's any update on this right now. Trading Deion Jones was purely to dump his massive contract, using 2023 as a means to absorb it, while also opening up a decent chunk of cap space. Nothing more, nothing less. I cannot agree more, Neek. I think that's incredible. Christopher Sanders, what's going on, my man? Hope you're doing well, brother. Mariota is Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde of QBs. Can be fantastic and awful at the same time. I do believe that. Erica Allen. Erica, what's going on? Good to see you. Rise up. Big Drew. Big Drew in the building. What's going on, son? Good to see you, dude. Man, I'm seeing some old faces get in here. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness gracious. Thank you guys for coming through. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Really appreciate you guys. Didn't the defense look better once Anderson came in for Walker? I believe to some extent, which could mean that a guy like who is it? Not Evan Neal, but Neal, Rashad Evans. Not Rashad Evans. Evans, yes, the middle linebacker that we picked up from Tennessee, I think he was a free agent at the time. I think you might actually end up taking him out and have Walker and Troy actually play there. We need to trade Ridley next in the offseason. I can't agree with that. Because if Oz isn't playing, but then you upgrade Calvin to playing through there, yeah, I mean, I pay the money. I mean, I kind of want to see, what he could do in this offense. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm kind of thinking about it a little bit, especially if Mariota is not the main QB. I could roll with Ridley, London, Pitts, if we could get that kind of rolling. But if Patterson continues to do well, Pitts continues to just be Kyle Pitts and eventually score a couple of tutties. London continues to make. Did you see that one-handed catch he made today, Drake London? Just on a casual one-handed catch to reach out for a very pivotal third down. Like, I was just like, what? What? So I guess we want more size in a linebacker. Yeah, most likely, more than likely. But yeah, I feel like Calvin could bring a lot to this team, but I think Anderson's going to get a lot more playing time. Just the way that they kind of were starting to put him out there, especially with Walker like not super seriously injured. It was good to see Anderson out there and go and hit and actually get after the ball. That's just mine. Yeah, Memphis. Yeah, I completely agree. I feel like he's not getting any respect. And by the way, can I get a show of hands in here? Can I get a rise up from anyone in here who felt that the roughing the passer penalty was the most bogus thing that we've ever seen in this league? I mean, I've seen bogus things in this league, but to allow Tom Brady, after they sacked him, to get away with whining at the refs, I just feel like you need stronger refs. I feel like you really do need stronger refs. But who's to know if our game is not tampered? Who's to know if our game is not tampered with? It's not contaminated. But man, yeah, that was not okay, man. That was not okay. That was very, very not okay. Am I upset right now? No. I'm not upset because I just keep seeing good things. We hung in with the Bucks. We played physical defense. We didn't let them score every single time they went down there. We held on. We did our part, and they only scored 21 points. We hung in with the Rams. We were a touchdown away from winning that game. Steele, what's going on, my man? Good to see you, buddy. What up, Lieutenant Dan? Was pissed off the entire day, but this Deion trade made things a little bit better. I believe he's going to do good things if he can go to Cleveland. He can get healthy and he can go out there and produce. He just doesn't have a home here, and we just wanted to offload that contract. It's just what it is. And that particular draft, now I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was the 2016 draft. No, that was the 2015. I believe that was a 2015 draft, if I'm not mistaken. No, that was the 2016 draft. He came in afterwards. That's kind of strange, but okay. That was Keanu Neal, currently on the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. Deion Jones, now a Cleveland Brown. Austin Hooper was a Cleveland Brown. Now I don't know where he currently is right now. Devondre Campbell is in Green Bay, right? Devondre Campbell is in Green Bay currently, and he's doing well. Wes Schweitzer, I don't think, plays in the NFL anymore. And Devin Fuller never stayed on the team. That's crazy. And just to be clear with you guys, Grady Jarrett is the only surviving member of the 2015 Falcons draft. And just to make sure that we all hurt collectively, the 2017 draft is also completely gone as well. So does that mean that only the 2018 current draft has a few lists of players that are there? Is that it? Have we really gotten rid of every one of those draft classes? Calvin Ridley, Isaiah Oliver, both still playing with us. Sanat is with Tampa. He got a sack today. Ito Smith, Russell Gage. Ito is not playing. Russell Gage is with the Bucks. He caught passes today. And Alua Khan is with the Jags. Just two more draft classes because they obviously I just want to make sure they're all gone. Lindstrom is currently starting. McGarry is also currently starting. This is the 2019 draft. Sheffield isn't with us anymore. Kaminsky's not with us anymore. Allison got cut this year. And Jordan Miller doesn't play with us anymore. And Marcus Green doesn't play with us anymore. Yeah. And then the 2020 class was just 2 years ago. AJ's here. Marlon Davidson is on IR. Matt Hennessy's still on the team. Walker was starter. Hawkins is still on the team. And I don't think the punter is currently on the team. So, dude, 3-4 years worth of draft class are gone. Are gone. 3-4 years worth of draft class are just gone. Gone. Neil's with the Bucks now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my stars. Yes. So, GM Terry Fontenot and Coach Arthur Smith inherited plenty of brutal contracts, including Deion Jones and Julio Jones. And now they've dealt both, all part of the house cleaning as they reshape and restock in Atlanta. Just late round draft compensation in exchange for late round draft compensation. So we don't know if it's a single pick, if it's multiple picks. This is always going to be a bullet-biting year for Arthur Smith. 11 minutes ago from Tom Pelissero, but I can't say that name. This was always going to be a bullet-biting year for Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot, who continue to shred contracts. Matt Ryan alone counts for $40 million in dead money this year, but is off the books next year. So, yeah. We don't know what the draft compensation currently is. Falcons will carry $12 million dead money in 2023 from Deion Jones, who guaranteed with no guarantees on his contract beyond 2022. The Browns now owe Jones $1.39 million of salary for the rest of the season, plus $31,000 for each game he's active. Just checking to see if there was anything else here. No. Currently, that's currently all we know. We don't know of what the and I think what really ends up happening here. Crystal, good to see you. I think what ends up happening here is because of what they saw in Anderson today, what they saw in Walker today, I think they gave him pretty much the benefit of the doubt. I think they most likely were like, yep, we like exactly what we look. And this is where we're kind of going. And this is a really good statement here. If for some reason you're surprised by the Deion Jones trade, you shouldn't be. Between the signing of Rashaan Evans, the emergence of Markel Walker, the drafting of Troy Anderson, who looked fantastic today, Atlanta clearly had other plans, plus the brutal contract and more dead money for the Falcons. Man, I don't know if people are saying this is a loss for Atlanta, but definitely people are saying that it was a lot of money, bro. Lot of money, bro. Yeah, everybody and their brother basically out here saying, yo, yeah. It's not a bad trade. It's not a bad trade. So if the draft compensation is a few late round picks, then I'm okay with it. But if it's you know, 1 5th-round pick, I might look at it and just be like, blah, blah. What's going on? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah. So, yeah. Ugh. Dan Quinn is a beast in Dallas. They did put a incredible team together. Let's like not pretend that that's not a thing. They put an incredible team together. Plus, there was already guys there. There was already an incredible group that was already there, so they could establish something. They already had something established. Then they just added to that, and then Dan Quinn didn't have the ridiculous responsibilities of also running offensive stuff and checking up with play assignments and things of that nature. So thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share this out onto Twitter. I would really, really appreciate that. The trade details were posted, I think, Lieutenant Dan. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. No, I don't see anything on the trade. Current trade. It just says exchange for late round draft picks. Picks. So S. So the NFL says picks. S. Ugh. That is why I leave you too. Yeah, so okay, so Albert Beers just said 9 minutes ago. Full terms of the Falcons. Browns deal trade first reported by Rap Sheet per source. Browns get Deion Jones and a 2024 7th-round pick, and the Falcons get a 2024 6th-round pick. Yeah, I don't think that was. I don't think that's a win. No, that's literally a dump. That's a dump. That's a contract dump. If that's actually the compensation there, that's a contract dump. So that they knew exactly what they had, they knew exactly what they wanted, and they put this together in order for them to just go ahead and move things on. Yep. That's basically what they did it. That's basically how they did it, what they did there. And I mean, if that's the compensation that they were looking for, then I mean, well. So a 6th round 2024 draft pick. And we gave them Deion Jones and a 7th in 2024. So we got nothing for this coming year. It's just a contract dump. That's all that is. That's all that is. That's all that ever will be. Because all that was you have an employee. So you have an employee. Said employee cannot work their shifts. Okay? Employee cannot work the shifts. A good employee and has done a lot of things for you. You have a second employee. Said second employee is like, yeah, I'm an up and comer. I'm newer, but I've got a lot of talent in me. So this employee is costing you a lot of money to just sit and do nothing. And the contract that you have with said employee is not good enough. So you go, all right, that's out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and promote you to the lead position of this, and I'm going to let you go ahead and start working on this. So, and I do not think that one of the best coverage linebackers in the league, Deion Jones, has shown, as well as Keanu Neal has shown, that their coverage ability is suspect. Man coverage, they get really beat really bad. So maybe the Browns can utilize something out of Deion Jones' career, really get something going. Maybe that's an upgrade that they can utilize this year if he's healthy, and then into next year as a centerpiece or something that they can utilize, or maybe even a handcuff, somebody that can be there as a will linebacker while they get everything else set forward. Because that's what Deion Jones is about a will linebacker as you could get. But yeah. So the Falcons end up scoring 15 points, all in the 4th quarter against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Falcons end up losing due to a bad call. I'm gonna sit here and tell you guys that, as a Falcons fan, and I know you guys as well too. When I do breakdown videos, when I'm able to get them out, when I have time to do them, and it's been brutal this week. I just can't get anything out. It's been really, really bad. I can't wait to go back to regular scheduling. Um, if the Falcons can't get this done, if the Falcons can't get this done, with this group, there will be a lot of people who will say, okay, um, you got rid of Julio, you got rid of Matt, you got rid of Deion, you cleaned house with a bunch of guys that were like, maybe you keep them, maybe you don't. There's just we haven't really gotten a lot of information about them, and we got them out of the place. This kind of reminds me of 2013 when right before Dan Quinn and company took over, 2013 2014, where the team was just like, you knew everything needed to be scrapped, but you wanted to keep as much as you possibly could because scrapping the whole team and restarting all over again wasn't going to be a successful option. So, how good is this dude? All right, Nick, I'll give you the straight up, no ridiculous banter, no hate. Um, Deion Jones, before he got hurt, was one of those guys that was a menace when it came to getting, into the back, tackling, since and also some coverage interceptions that Deion Jones was very, very good at. Since the injury, Deion Jones hasn't looked like the same player. So on a Browns offering side here, you pay little to no money and give away a 2024 sixth round pick, which, a sixth round pick. How good can that possibly be? And receive in return Deion Jones and a seventh round pick in 2024. It doesn't hurt your draft next year. It doesn't really hurt your cap number all that much. And if Deion plays well this year, plus about 30, I think it said 31 or $32,000 every week that he's active, I think you get a contract to him if he plays well. If he doesn't, no harm, no foul. You paid like $1.9 million to be able to have a linebacker that can come in, that can play at a high level, that just really needs a new home. Like, honestly needs a home. And then you look at the Falcons side of it and receiving a sixth round pick. Really, that's just to dump this contract from the dead money. The dead money of this contract, about $9 million or something like that. $12 million. And then literally recouping all of that next year, in order for you to be able to afford not only a wealth of free agents that they most likely will go after, because I think it's about $60-70 million that they're going to have in play, and then go into the draft and try to shore up a couple of spots there while potentially Desmond Ridder starts next year. I think that's where that's going. But if Deion Jones does become a guy that Cleveland can count on, Cleveland's defense will start to get to a point where it's just kind of it gets a little ridiculous. And especially if guys like Myles Garrett and Clowney stay healthy, that nothing off the field happens. Deion Jones could be the guy that can kind of slip through things and create tackles for loss, and even give you a coverage sack once or twice a year. So, not coverage sack, but a coverage interception. Once or twice a year at a zone or something like that, sitting in the flats and just jumping something. He's good at that. That's what he's good at. So, I could see Deion Jones flourishing in a defense that's already kind of built and ready to go, and then Deion just gets to go in there and play. Not a bad trade. Just no harm, no foul for the Browns. Really just a contract dump for Atlanta. Yeah, pretty much, Nick. Pretty much, man. Pretty much. I hope that answers your question. Make sure that you hit that like button, man. Or tell me, boo, Falcons stuff. I can't stand this. Yeah, the dump passes to running backs or jumping in front of screens or jumping in front of a slant pass. He's never going to be a long stride over the middle of the field coverage linebacker or be able to cover anything deep. He's going to be there, you know. I would say he's probably in the mold of someone that's like a deep. I think Brian Smith said it pretty good. So, uh, Uncle's a Falcons fan, so I can't hate y'all on y'all. Hey man, we got robbed today, bro. We got robbed today. Um, uh, yeah, I'll sound like a griping Falcons fan when I say this, but yeah, the Falcons got absolutely robbed today. Like robbed, robbed, robbed. So I don't even know what to think about that. You know, tends to blow its load early in the game and then lose second half. Welcome to the bandwagon, bro. Welcome to the Falcons Browns bandwagon. Let's all get together. Let's all get together on this bandwagon and go blowing leads. What do you guys think? But long story short, man, I just think that where the Falcons going right now, where they're currently going, Ritter potentially going to be starting in the next couple of games, cleaning house and getting contracts out of the way, playing good football when they need to play good football, um, you know, playing against every single team this year and being in competitions. I don't think any one of the people that are watching right now or any of the people that have tuned in should be upset, should be worried about the future. I think this is a good team. It's probably about average at best right now. It's an offense that still hasn't found its real identity and what it wants to impose on teams yet. And I think it's going to continue to take steps forward, but it's just going to be a long process. And those of you that want that microwave, shiny nickels looking stuff, you're not going to get it. You're just going to have to watch the full games and watch this I would call a maddening mess continue to happen week in and week out. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to see much more to this team. We're not out of the race yet. It's so early in the season. I want to check Tankathon. And we are currently set at number 7 in draft position. For those of you that want to know, the Atlanta Falcons have gone from 11th or 10th to number 7 in draft order. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 teams in the league that are 2 and 3 or have yet to play a game and get to that 2 and 3 mark. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams that are 3 and 2. So we're right in the thick of it. We're literally right in the thick of it right now. And Philadelphia is the only undefeated team right now. So I don't think the Falcons really have to worry too heavily. But we'll see kind of where the structure begins to kind of get put in, because right now it's like Carolina's the worst team in the league right now. The Steelers, the Lions, the Commanders, and Raiders in that order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any of those teams could easily switch. I think any of those teams, and then you still got Seattle with back-to-back picks at 10 and 11 due to the Broncos. So I'm sure the Falcons are most likely going. We've got to concentrate on the current, and then we'll go into the draft process and think more of that as we get more information, obviously. But we'll see. We'll see. San Francisco, we could potentially get a dub off of that, 3 and 3, and then if we could beat Carolina the following week, regardless of whether or not Ritter is starting or not, and then you're 4 and 3, and you're thinking about, hey man, we're fighting for the division and we're getting real close. What happens to the Buccaneers over the next 2 weeks? Because they didn't make it out of that game looking like monsters. They made it out of that game by the skin of their teeth by the call of the refs. And so hey man, you can't tell me that wasn't a cheat. That was absolutely a cheat. All right, guys, I'm gonna get off. Thank you guys so much for coming through. We will have another show tomorrow morning. That way we can kind of take a look at some draft scenarios, as well as get a little more information on what happened today. And then any other trades or compensation that comes out, we'll take a look at that. We'll also be live tomorrow playing some Overwatch 2, as well as doing some Apex Legends. Mrs. Lieutenant Dan says hi to all the peeps in the chat.
Hola.
Bien. Doing a mock draft? Not tonight. Not tonight. We're not going to do a mock draft tonight. Cannot do that. Stroud, Bryce, Carter, Anderson, Rango, Brizzy, all seem very interesting to me. A lot of movement there. We'll figure out how we do. Everybody in the chat say goodbye to Mrs. Lieutenant Dan and myself. Goodbye, y'all. Bye.
Hoinan.
Hoinan. Hoinan? Like naan bread? Nund. Nund?
No, not T.
C. Okay.
That's
all right.
Lashon,
Not a problem.
You know.
Yeah. All right. All right. Goodbye to everybody in the chat.
Buenas noches.
Y'all take it easy. Peace. Here, Grease. Rise up. Stay grounded. We'll see you guys tomorrow.